This is the greatest anxiety solution video on the entire internet. So keep watching if you no longer want to suffer from anxiety, even manage stress and panic attacks, and really get to understand what is happening in your mind and how you can solve it forever. That's the intention of this video, so keep watching if you want to sort yours out big time. Okay, this is it. This isn't the video that says just breathe, and this video is the no BS approach to actually solving your anxiety problem, your panic attack problem for good. This is the real stuff. It's not a quick fix. It's not something you just need to do this, and you go, oh, why didn't I think of that? All this time I just, why didn't I think of that simple breathing technique, or the positive thinking, or just calm down. That stuff doesn't work. It's nice to hear, and yeah, you can try and remember it in the moment when you're having a panic attack, but ultimately it's not going to do anything for you. So I made a video in the last one, and I talked about my story and how I overcame anxiety, depression, panic attacks, and all that sort of stuff, which was just all in one massive entangled ball of meh. And I did it through all natural ways, but it took commitment, it took a lot of discipline, and it took a lot of time. And that's because I didn't have a video like this that I'm gonna make for you I'm making for you right now, packed full of everything that you need to know. It's a combination of stuff that you gotta do. It's not a pill, oh, anxiety free, who knew? It's a commitment to a handful of things, but those things are really simple, easy, and can be enjoyable too. So if you just commit to bettering your health and wanting to overcome your issue, then this video is totally for you. So keep listening, keep thinking. I don't know what this is. So keep watching. Here we go. Gotta do that like, comment, share thing. So look, I don't want to do that bit. So by just kind of telling you that I don't want to do that bit, you kind of get what I'm saying. It helps the stuff. Don't want to be saying the stuff because it's a bit but on that point, a friend commented down below on the last video and shared her story about how when we used to hang out and play in bands together, she was going through the same thing, which was the I feel like I'm dying kind of anxiety. I was feeling that too. I was always very drunk when we played gigs and all that stuff, and I never knew that she was going through that as well, and she didn't know I was going through it, but because nobody talked about that stuff. And we've both suffered greatly and now doing really well, thankfully. And it's so, when I saw her comment, it made me go, oh, actually, yeah, the comments really do help. Like, that comment helped me. It helped her, and then it helped anyone that read it that can relate to the debilitating levels of anxiety. And look, I make a joke, I have a laugh, because that frequency is, for me, it's better and it's easier to deal with issues and emotions and heavy conversations like this when we're in a higher vibration of laughter. As long as it's done in a nice, compassionate way, it kind of feels fine for me. But I understand what it's like if you're really, really suffering. You might not want someone laughing about this kind of stuff, but I'm only laughing because I overcame it, and it's just so dumbfounding that it's so simple, and that's why I'm doing this video. So forgive me if I ruffle any feathers. It's not my intention. It's my intention to help you kind of go pull forward and then feel a higher vibration where you're free from anxiety, panic, struggle and pressure, and you can find a bit of relief. So that's where we're at. So keep watching, and we're gonna literally dive into it right now. That's all the stuff. See you on the other side. Okay, so here's the recap. Anxiety is happening from a number of places. Overstimulation, adrenals overloaded, bad food, watching TV that makes you feel anxious, drinking the wrong stuff, just a number of different places. So step number one is to acknowledge that you have an issue and seek to find where it is coming from in your life. I had my story, you've got your story. The step number one is to look at your world and go, okay, I'm alive, I'm anxious a lot of the time, I'm getting panic attacks, I'm even depressed, or whatever your situation is. First step, using awareness, as we always say, is to pinpoint why it's occurring. And it could be, the things you're watching, the things you're eating, the things you're thinking, the things you're feeling, the things you do, the habits you have. However you find it, figure it out, write it down, and look at it and go, okay, no judgment, no, you don't have to figure out the answers just yet. Keep watching, the answers are in the video. But just look at what your situation is. That is step numero one. Okay, step number two is, when you get the message, hang up the phone, said Alan Watts. Talking about something slightly different, but I love to use that phrase because it's so awesome. It's so true. When you get the message, hang up the phone. This is the message, if you've not already figured it out. If you're watching this video, all right, maybe if you're not anxious and you're just watching it for fun, I'll let you guys slide. But if you're watching this and you're feeling anxious on a daily basis, this video is for you. This is why I'm making this video, to connect with you, so you can finally realize that you don't want to be living an anxious life. You don't have to. You no longer have to live in anxiety. Yeah, we all have a low level of anxiety collectively, just because of what's happening in the world, or a terrible situation that you live in. We all have a low level anxiety throughout our day. It's up to you if you want to slip into that and live in that, or realize it's part of life, it's part of the collective consciousness, it's part of just going through life, frustrations, obstacles, situations, being very vague, but just kind of paint the picture that life isn't a cakewalk, as they say. Life isn't easy. It's not a simple thing to do. So therefore, these tools are massively important. Why would you not seek to have the easiest life that you possibly can, amongst the chaos that we live in? So number two is, when you get the message, when you finally get dare I say, a gift like this free video of someone telling you how to get through it, put down the phone, do the work, stop messing around, stop deciding that you live in anxiety. Decide right now, from what you know, from all the stuff that you see in these videos and videos like this, is you can change your mind, you can change how you are by deciding that you want a different story. So click the link below if you want to find your story and figure out who you are. There's a mini course called Dare to Develop, and that will help you figure out that path. Back to this, if you just need the solution, then let's dive into number three. Tip number three is to remember the tools that I'm about to share with you, or the tools that you know that work when you are in a state of panic and anxiety. That's the bit that we missed. That's the bit that I missed. I knew some stuff. When it happened, I just freaked out and panicked more, and I never tried the tools. because I had no one telling me to do it, you know. I read them in books like, you know, these things are good for anxiety or calming the body. I didn't have someone in a wood, some random dude going, hey, next time you have a panic attack, do this. Remember, this is why I'm being so dramatic, because I want you to remember the simple things. Remember the tools. The tools are massively important. And if you keep watching, I'll tell you how to not even have the panic attack anymore. And that's the greatest part, is, it's all linked. We'll get there. Number 4. So, number 4, decide on your boundaries. When you've figured out what is causing or contributing to your anxiety, decide on your boundaries. When you've decided on your boundaries, that's when you hang up the phone and you go, I am all in. I am going to resolve this issue because I don't want to live in fear of anxiety just occurring in life. Like it's like, oh, I thought it's around the corner. Or like, oh, I hope anxiety is not going to be there when I go to that building or when I walk down the street. This is how we think when we're living in fear and anxiety, that it's coming at us. It's not. It's within you, and it's within you because you are contributing to it, causing it, or helping it along. So this is how we can look at it and go, oh, okay, if I take 100% responsibility and sort this shit out, then I can overcome it. And that's the part that a lot of people can't handle. It's like, oh, it's not me. It's victimhood. You're either in victimhood or you're responsible for it. Sorry to be so harsh, but this is what I needed. This is what I could have needed all that time ago, and I had to stumble across it all for years. It was horrible. So I don't want anyone watching this video going through anxiety to suffer anymore, because it's not needed. So decide on your boundaries. My boundaries, straight away I knew that coffee did not help. So coffee, just no coffee. And then, maybe a month later I'd have a little sip of coffee and go, okay, it's okay. And then I'd have maybe another one the next day and go, oh, it's all right, coffee's fine. And then I'd have like a third one the next day, and I'd start getting all those symptoms, the shallow breath, the kind of panicky, and I was like, damn, can't do coffee. Coffee just overstimulates me big time, and it's that overstimulation that makes me think I'm a bit more capable of maybe being a bit more hyper. And then the hyper makes me, it's just a pattern that I can't do. So coffee, no. Maybe once a month I'll have a little sip. Recently I've had a couple and I'm feeling it. I'm like, gotta bring it back down. Cocaine, not so much. It's just, it's these things that overstimulate the system. Just no. And this is just me. Again, this is just me. I don't overstimulate my body anymore because my adrenals just get way out of whack, and it just creates anxiety. And it was simple for me, really, when I figured out the deeper stuff, which ultimately, like I said in the last video, when I really dug deep, it was all about self-love and all the stuff from being dyslexic at school. It was a build-up, and I had to work through all that stuff. And then I didn't need to numb myself like that because I felt good within myself. You know what I'm saying, am I? So yeah, that's the deep work you've got to do. But on the surface, the stuff you can do in the day-to-day is look at what is causing you anxiety. What are you putting into your mind? What are you putting into your body that is making you anxious? I found that when I watch like killing films, people that, like fast-paced kind of like action, Mark Wahlberg type films, those like, hey, just like, just bang, 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 bang. Look, those films are fun and I like those films, don't get me wrong, but if I watch a lot of that stuff, it makes me anxious. Breaking Bad was the biggest anxiety attack since my anxiety attacks, and after that I really had a word with myself and went, oh yeah, I can't even watch these shows because yeah, they're amazing, but if I do, I'm living in anxiety. I'm way more susceptible and sensitive than most. I admit that, I'm cool with that, but it's true. I realize I'm massively sensitive to stimulation like that and emotions, and even with music. If I listen to sad music, I get real sad real quick. So I have to be really careful with that stuff. And when I do listen to emotional music or anxiety TV, I watch it very consciously and I listen to it consciously, and I'm aware that I'm being taken on a journey for the sake of art, and that's a beautiful thing. I could listen to some death metal and just listen to it as the art that it is, and then have to tap out and really, really actually build back my emotional state to where I want it before I carry on my day. I can no longer just unconsciously watch that stuff because it takes me on a journey that sends me down a downward spiral into Anxietyville, and I don't like it there, so I don't go there anymore. So the last step here, number 5, is to make friends with anxiety. Make friends with it. Realize it's part of your life. Don't shun it or be fearful of it or be scared of it and just think that it's coming at you. And this is the state that I was in, like this. And then when I drank, it was like, oh, okay, everything's okay. And then it'd wear off and I'd get back to this. I was so sick of that way of living, that panic, that shallow breath, that fear, that I decided to figure it out, hang up the phone, practice these methods constantly on a daily basis, so the anxiety was happening less and less and less, and I decided on my boundaries. No more coffee. I quit drinking for a long time. Now I drink very occasionally, and when I do, I absolutely love it, but I have to be really careful. And stimulation things, I had to really just go nope, 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 and have more calming things. Lots of amazing natural things out there for calming the body. And I decided to make friends with anxiety and face it and go, okay, anxiety, panic, depression, lack of self-love, self-care, all of it. I faced every single one of them and said, okay, let's do this, let's dance, let's go. And it's like they say in your dreams, if you turn around and face the monster, it often dissolves and shows you it's just a symbol for that big move that you're making, or that relationship that you're in, or that job offer, or whatever. It dissolves, and you symbolically, it shows you in your dream that it's a monster because you need to look at it or run from it and figure it out. So when we face our fears and decide to actually take all this stuff on, then we dissolve it. It's as simple as that. So what we're going to do is, down below there's a thing, I can't think what it's called, a thing that I created called the convert scale or something like that. I don't know. It's like a conversion process that I kind of mentally did and then realized that's what I did. So I turned it into a visual thing so you can use it. And it really, 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 really helps if you print it out and do it. If you watch this video and go, oh yeah, that sounds like it works, and then never do it, it won't work, and you'll be back to where you were. And wherever you are, good luck, go for it. If you got any advice for anyone else, comments down below. Tell people about your journey and anything that's working for you. what I'm saying is just what I know, what I've experienced, and it's not the be all and end all. It's just what really helped me. So this conversion scale below, you put all of your bad habits, your bad tendencies, your anxiety, worries, doubts on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side you put what you need to do, how you need to convert that process. So on mine, when I found out that coffee overstimulated me and made me just go pretty nuts, I put coffee on the left, and then on the right was drink lots and lots of water. So if I was gonna have a coffee, drink lots and lots of water. But just seeing it on the left, bad habits under, it's bad habits, just things that we do, no judgment, just what you know that doesn't help the process, the accumulation of your anxiety, stuff that just doesn't help that's what you put on here. This is what it's for. So just seeing coffee up there made me look at it and go, oh no, I'm not going to do that. So I switched to herbal tea, and now I'm a massive herbal tea dude, and I love it, absolutely love it. And it's just, there's all sorts of great herbal teas. There's matcha, which is still a stimulant, but it's a calming version of coffee. It's like a slow release rather than a bang, 0 to 100 start your day. It's a nice, slow, steady journey, but it does keep you uplifted and awake. So there's lots of alternatives. Lack of sleep. When, lack of sleep is a huge one. It's massive. People that generally are anxious aren't sleeping because of the anxiety, because you're in a loop. We're going to talk about that on the next video. I've just realized I want to split these up. But lack of sleep is huge. So when I found that I wasn't sleeping, I'd look at this chart and I'd look on the right hand side and it would say, go to bed early. As simple as that. I know it sounds remedial, but when you visually see your issues and what you can do in front of you, and it's as simple as, oh yeah, it helps. It really does help. And if you practice it and you work your way through this list, then soon enough you take off all these things on the left hand side, and you don't need the list. You don't need these tools, because you just naturally do things that don't cause you anxiety anymore. So I don't have a list anymore. I just know not to drink too much coffee or do all the things that I've mentioned before. But look, just work through what it is. So find your thing, put it on the list, and then look at it and go, okay, what is the direct opposite thing that I should do next? And over time, you'll get to the point where when you want to hang up the phone on feeling anxious, you will stop drinking that coffee. You'll stop watching those shows, listening to that music, hanging around with those people that make you feel anxious. You'll stop wanting to work in that job for that boss that you don't like. You'll want to start creating a new environment where you feel happy, confident, relaxed, at peace. It's not always so easy just to jump from a terrible job to your dream job, but there's ways you can do it. D2D in the links. It's a start. You never know. You could be, before you know it, sat in a bush on a weekday, talking to a camera, living your dream life, or facing that monster, whatever it is, that person, that job, that food addiction, that technology addiction, that bad habit, all of those things, whatever it is for you, you'll start to want to do the opposite of what you're doing, because you want to hang up the phone. You're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's why I'm doing these videos, so you can really have that conversation with yourself. Watch this 3-part series and do it all, and do everything, and just take it on. It's going to be no more than an hour of your entire life devoted to you, to overcoming this situation. And in the next video, I'm gonna give you a 4-part blueprint how to make it happen. So video 1 is all about my story, I guess, and just a few tips, I guess. This video is about having the conversation with yourself and deciding that it's over. No longer do you want to suffer anymore. It's over, it's time. And then video 3, next one, is gonna be your plan. So like, comment, share, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Stick around for the next video, watch it and enjoy it, take note, let me know, let people know in the comments below how you go and all the things you know. Okay, I'll see you soon.